Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk, excuse me, I like to talk about how I lost 97.4 pounds after starting the ketogenic protocol, how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life like I did. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday morning if you are indeed viewing this live. Um, I'm going to jump right on in. Today's topic, keto in 2023. How are we doing so far? And I would love to hear from you because that's what this is all about. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the protocol, as I learned it and as I followed it, please, whatever works for you, do it. But this is how I learned it. And it was the only thing that worked for me after 30 years of being obese and morbidly obese. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Total carbs, not net carbs. Net carbs means more carbs. If it's not on page 4, link below, don't eat it, but you don't need a food list. It's fatty sources of protein, limited amounts of non-starchy vegetables, and limited amounts of full-fat dairy, but you don't even need the dairy or the vegetables. Don't eat if you're not hungry. That's the hardest part. Stop when you're satiated. That's the second hardest part. Be patient and persevere. I added those last two myself, both of which are challenges. So that's it. That's what it is. That's how I've done it. For those of you who would like photographic evidence, you can go to my blog, link below, and click on the before photos, and you can see how, when I was trying the summer of the triathlons, move more, eat less. I mean, I really gave it a go. This worked for me. Why does it work? Because if we are eating carbs, like most people, the standard American diet, and even that the dietary guidelines as passed down um, from on high, it's carb heavy. When we consume carbohydrates over a certain amount, and very low is the amount for me, it comes out of our liver, our body processes it, and our liver pumps out glucose, which is simple sugar. It does not matter whether that carb was a sweet potato, a Snickers bar, a slice of Ezekiel bread, or a big salad. If it's over a certain number of carbs, it's going to come out as simple sugar. You reduce the carbs, the liver says, oh, okay, well, no problem. And it does not put out glucose. And the rest of our body says, oh, no problem. I'm going to start burning ketones or fat for fuel, of which I've got plenty to burn on board. So that's how you become a fat burner as opposed to a sugar burner. That's what it is. You'll notice that that protocol says nothing about grams of protein or grams of fat or ounces of water a day or time of day eating or added dietary fat like fat bombs. Nothing about MCT oil. As a matter of fact, that can be very counterproductive. Anyway, that's how I did it. Now, I'll jump on in and I am going to turn to comments because I want this to be a support group, a support group opportunity. I'll tell you how I'm doing in 2023. I'm doing okay. I'm pretty weight stable and have been for going on 6 years now. My weight fluctuates almost every day. I share that with my patrons. Oh, scale read 1 pounds lower this morning than yesterday, or the scale reads 0.7 of a pound higher than. So anyway, it fluctuates almost every day. But I did something that when I say, here's how you follow the protocol, there was a part of it I didn't do. So we had a voucher. We had vouchers for that we could order out. Well, we could order in, I guess we could go to Texas Roadhouse and also Five Guys. So the Five Guys, we placed the order and my lovely mate went and picked it up, used the voucher. Great. I ordered a little cheeseburger, no bacon or anything, just a little cheeseburger, bunless, with some, bell pepper and grilled onions and grilled jalapeno. My husband, on his behalf, I ordered a bacon cheeseburger with those fixings, bunless, and an added patty. Well, when we got it, it turns out we were overserved. He ended up with 3 patties, and I ended up with 2. That's too much food for me. Guess what I did? I ate every bit. I did not stop when I was satiated. Please absolve me. But by contrast, with the Texas Roadhouse experience, placed the order online. My lovely mate went and fetched it, came back. I didn't think to say don't include any bread, but we got steaks and green beans, right? And they have rolls. So, oh dear. So my husband, he smells so good. So he took some and he bit off some. And I thought he can do that if he wants to. He's trim, he's healthy, he's fit. He follows this protocol for staying healthy and trim and fit. But he immediately turned around and spit it out. Okay. That's pretty good. And here's the follow-up to that. So he took one of the rolls and threw it on the ground for Jack. Jack sniffed it and walked away, which kind of tells me it's not real food. There's not much food in there. Okay, so anyway, enough about me. Otherwise, everything's fine. Everything's good. I do not have a problem avoiding pretzels and chips and stuff. So I'm just past that. So let's see how everyone else is doing. Hello, Judy Tucker from Hopkinton, Iowa. Judy's lost 150 pounds. Christina Paulus chick, yay, will finally be at home to catch a live stream, yay. Linda Bridges, doing better, eating less food and carbs. I will be weighing next week to see what's going on, but beginning to feel like my changes are working. Just need to find a way to de-stress so it will. Okay, and as we know, food is not the de-stressor. For many of us, it's the stressor. We tell ourselves, I use food to cope. No, we use food to not cope. We have to address whatever's stressing us, or find another practice, like you say, do jumping jacks, or I don't know, yell at your husband, something to get that energy out. But don't turn to food, because food won't fix whatever's stressing you. Food, contrary to popular belief, does not actually fix any problem other than hunger. Good morning from Texas, writes Linda. Deb Herval, good morning from Montana. Jackie Bennett, good morning from New York. Deb Herval, I'm interested whether anyone has experienced stalls while going keto. Kathy Sieber, good morning from cold Ohio, 26 degrees. Brr. Hey, Kathy. Betty Lugabaugh, good morning from Ohio. Kathy Sieber, working on telling myself I am not hungry when I am not. Old habit that 3 meals a day and not being wasteful. This is a big one. Not being wasteful. Don't waste food. Clear your plate. There's a saying I heard once. Better it should go to waste than go to waste. So better it should go to WASTE rather than WAIST. Now look at it this way logically. Whether you eat it or put it down the garbage disposal, it's going to be gone. And none of us, I hope, are actually in a situation. There is actual hunger in the world. There is hunger in our communities. But hopefully, all of us know that if we throw away that last bit of pork chop, there'll be more food. But yes, old habits. Okay, I think I missed some of these. Okay, I did. Okay, and now excuse me, I'm scrolling upwards because I don't want to miss anything. Oh my goodness, y'all are really active. This is great. Okay, Sue W. Good morning, Judy T. from Davenport, Iowa, and good morning, everyone. Except Judy is from Hopkinton. Buck Desno, Deb, I've had several stalls, but I think they're natural as your body adjusts and gets healthier. That's a good way to look at it. Buck writes, didn't get fat overnight. Not getting fit overnight either. Amen, brother. Thanks, Buck writes Deb. Cara Z, Buck, that made me laugh. Buck Desno, good. Deb Herval, I'm calling it a stall for December, but maybe that means I didn't slip as badly as I thought I did. Sometimes that's the victory. I know for myself and surely many of others of you, no matter what kind of intentions you start out with, and oh, I don't know, the day before Halloween, I'm going to be better this holiday season. You wake up January 1st and you've put on weight and you feel cruddy. So sometimes the victory is not putting on weight and not feeling cruddy. You don't have to lose weight necessarily. Joanne Cardew, good morning from Lake Orion, Michigan. And Kathy Sieb writes, I like that comment too, Buck. LB writes, glad to see the holidays are behind me and kept my promise to myself to stay on keto. Congratulations. Once you get through a holiday season, it's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling. So congratulations. And did you still enjoy the holiday? Was it a miserable holiday because you didn't eat, Ferrero Rocher chocolate or whatever? Helen Bruns, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Helen. I'm using some of the crew to try to boost up I have very fine limp hair. So Helen gifted me some hair product and I've used it. So I think it's helping. Our weekly video Bible study, Scott, can see and hear you. Thank you very much for letting me know, Scott. Kara Z, I'm holding steady, trying to not eat out of boredom, etc. Went through the holiday season on protocol. Feels so good come January. Yeah, boredom is I didn't put it in this year's calendar, but is employ the blast method when making a decision about eating. And this is total ripoff of the HALT method in the 12-step programs. HALT is HALT. Don't make a decision when you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Kind of expanded that to don't make a food eating decision when you're bored, lonely, angry, stressed, or tired. Because these are a lot of the reasons people say, well, I was bored. Someone asked me, how do you tell if you're bored or you're hungry? I said, well, I think you just answered the question. If you don't know if you're hungry, you're not hungry. And by the way, for those of you who are newer to the protocol, hunger, when you're a fat burner, is a different experience, a different sensation than when you're a sugar burner. So we have to kind of relearn what actual hunger feels like. But Desno, good morning from snowy northern New York. We were supposedly getting flurries here, but I don't think so. Keto Way. Good morning, everyone. Judy Tucker. Good morning, Sue. Iowa neighbor. Betty Lookabah. Kathy Sieber. I have the same issue as you. We have been programmed to eat 3 meals a day and at particular times. It takes a lot of diligence and concentration to actually wait until I'm hungry. Indeed. There's a theory that this 3 meals a day thing really was started with the Industrial Revolution back in the, mid to late 1800s, when the factories wanted and needed to regiment when people were allowed to stop working on the assembly line or whatever it was. So they prescribed times that people could leave and eat. And that's a theory. I have not researched it. Heather Silva, good morning from Boise, Idaho. A bunch of, what's it called? The wheat belt, Iowa, Idaho. Although I believe Judy is actually more in cattle country. Christina Polishchik, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Doc Schungal, good morning, Casey, Sue, Kathy, Judy, and everyone. These are patrons as well. Misty's House of Tarot Cards. Good morning, Casey, everyone. Judy Tucker, good morning, Doc Schungal. Chris, and by the way, Doc Schungal is at Galway. Chris in real life, I'm happy. Happy New Year, Casey, and everyone. Jill's mommy, Happy New Year, Casey. Hello, hello, hello. Christina Polish, and I know that Jill's mommy is in the UP. She's a Uper in Michigan. I'm absolved. Thank you very much, Christina Polischik. Smart dog, reference to the Jack, sniffed the yeast roll and walked away. Karazi writes, I have an issue when I'm nearing the end of a food. I feel like I have to finish it off. That's a thing as well. It irritates some people if they see someone else leaving just, a mouthful or forkful on the plate. Why don't you just finish it? Because you don't have to eat it. Or head that off at the pass and make your initial serving smaller. That is another thing to do as well. And a good thing for that is use smaller plates. Just eat. I need less fuel than I did when I started this protocol. And I ate a lot of food when I started this protocol, but that was nearly 100 pounds ago. I was carrying around a lot of weight. Not quickly, within a few weeks, I can't eat that much food anymore. And it was all page 4 compliant. So I started whittling down the amount of food. And now I'm older. But, I buried the lead. Tomorrow will be 9 years since I started. 9 years. For those of you who don't know, I had given up on trying to lose weight. I had determined that the universe wanted me to be fat. That was my role for whatever reason. So I'd given up. But I was also kind of chronically, clinically depressed. And I was not feeling well. Things hurt. It was harder to move around. I would bump into things. I was embarrassed. So, and I realized that my next doctor's appointment, almost certainly, I was going to be told that I was type 2 diabetic and that my blood pressure was too high. And I did not want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. I have been diagnosed and treated for cancer 3 times over my life, starting with when I was pregnant with our 3rd child, on to 2 more occurrences after that. Very dramatic, irritating. And I could somehow think I can explain to my loved ones that I might just die of cancer, but I could not see that I was going to lose a foot or a kidney or my eyesight to diabetes. How to not take, and I didn't want to take insulin. How to not take insulin for type 2 diabetes. Came across the white coat video of Dr. Eric Westman of Duke University, who I am thrilled to say is now a friend of mine. I was never a patient of his. I just listened to the video, and he said to keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day if it's not on page 4, et cetera, et cetera. So the next time I put food in my mouth, I laid off the carbs. I have a mug and t-shirt and stuff. Oh, by the way, you can see stuff below. I laid off the carbs and laid off the excuses. That's what I did. And I just have not looked back. And I would say that my joint pain resolved faster than I lost weight. And I've never had one of these crushing episodes of depression like I was doing 2, 3, 4 times a year previously. So it'll be 9 years tomorrow. So for those who say it's not sustainable, oh, shut up. The person who says that may think they can't sustain it. Doesn't mean other people can't. Buck Desno. Yeah, Kara. As a kid, we were praised for finishing our plates. Oh, look what I did. It's great. Clean Plate Club. Christina, good morning from Maryland. Fasted for 70 hours, now following page 4. I cannot recommend that. Glad you did it. Hope you're happy with it. But after about 24 hours with no protein or fat being consumed, our bodies start to cannibalize our existing lean tissue because the amino acids that are in fat and protein are essential. Carbohydrate is not essential. Fat and protein contain amino acids we cannot create, and they are essential for cell health, repair, regeneration. So you do what you want, but I cannot recommend that. I certainly wouldn't do it myself. I experimented with that, and then I realized when I did a little bit more research, and it's not good. Good morning from Northern Nevada, Diane C. Good morning from Fairhope, Alabama. Is that Alabama or Alaska? Can't see. So, girl, hi from Albuquerque. Terry Cardinale, good morning. Started Dr. Westman's 7-day challenge, reversed Okay, I don't know what that is. Fatty liver and GERD eating keto friendly. Now it is time to lose the last 10 pounds. So getting strict in the new year. Good for you. Heather Silva, have learned over this past year that I'm an abstainer, not a moderator. Join the club, sister girl. Moderation with crappy carbs does not work for me. A little is never enough. Back on track and feeling awesome. Ditto. Judy Tucker, Casey, I'm finding after 5 years keto caffeine, 5 years of keto, caffeine is starting to affect me. So gave it up drinking decaf. Still changes. Judy makes a good point. Yes, we continue to tweak. And, we get older. Our hormonal situation changes. There are so many hormones, and they are very powerful. So good to know. Now, have you detected a change, Judy? Was the caffeine just making you a little bit too jittery where it didn't before? Nancy Edwards, I believe in this protocol. I'm struggling to stick with this when social events come up, and we have a lot. I try bringing my own food, tell myself to steer from the carbs, but give in. I will keep trying. Exactly. You can and you will. That's another t-shirt and a mug. I can and I will. IC and IW. By the way, this one, I went keto with Casey. Avocado. My husband has 2 of those. They're now both in Colombia. Chris in real life. Heather, I agree. At least for me, it's just easy to not do it at all with most stuff as opposed to attempting to just have a little. It's not possible. We could say, yeah, it is possible. Obviously, you can have just a little. You're in command of that decision whether to have more. But here's the thing for me. I long ago got tired of fighting with my brain about food. I just don't want to have that argument with myself, with my brain. Have a little more. No, you better not. No, go ahead, just have a little. No, I'm not going to. So I just lay off. Chris in real life. Nancy Edwards, I understand that. Honestly, I just eat until I'm good and full before I go anywhere. That way, I just brush off the food at events altogether. No one's ever found it rude or anything. Yeah, I'm good. Plus, nobody gets a vote on what you eat, right? Heather Silva, yes, much easier to not eat any than to eat a little. Buck Desno, I know everyone wants to be slim, but I'm still amazed by the great energy. I hardly recall how I used to drag myself through the day before. Plus, my sleep is amazing too. Buck, you're absolutely right. I wonder. I look at the photos from those triathlons, and I never saw those photos at the time because everybody around me knew not to share them. I was sent photographs from friends and acquaintances after I had lost the weight saying, I just, I hope you don't mind me sharing this with you, but this is amazing. And I don't know how I did it. I don't know how swimming was not so hard because fat floats, but the bicycle up hills? Nancy Edwards, I think I may need to avoid these until I get more devoted to change. Good morning from Texas. Judy Tucker, congratulations. And Buck writes, I want other options for what I drink. I can't drink artificially sweetened or stevia sweetened drinks. Mostly I have plain seltzer. Any ideas? Well, this will not be the solution, but thank you for reminding me. I get asked every time. Hashtag Casey's Pink Drink. Tumbler, full to almost brimming with ice. Diet tonic water, a splash of diet cranberry, and a squeeze of lime. But water. I mean, if the artificial sweeteners or non-sugar sweeteners, either you don't like them or they don't agree with you, then club soda with a little lemon, water. There's always water. But, it's hard. There aren't, you don't go to fruit juices because that's concentrated sugar. And certainly no sugar sodas and things are available. But if you don't like them, or maybe you'll find a brand or something that does work for you. Heather Silva, congratulations on 9 years. Thank you. Went by like that. I can't snap very well anymore. I have an injury to I can snap with this hand. This one doesn't work so well. 9 years. Wow, that's fantastic. Oh, let me see. Cara Z, don't take as much food to begin with. I'll begin working on that. Judy Porterfield, good morning from North Michigan. Debbie, good morning. I discovered this holiday season that the foods I gave myself permission to eat did not taste the same as I remembered. Will not do it again. But I didn't know my taste buds had changed. Excellent point. There are changes in taste buds. Foods taste better to me now. I think my taste buds were in a coma before when I was a sugar burner. It's an excellent point. By the way, I thought I've been talking for about 15 minutes. It's 25. You don't have to purchase one thing to be 100% successful at this protocol. Not one, not kit, nothing. You don't even need to purchase page 4. Just lay off the carbs. But I will sell you mugs and t-shirts and water bottles all day long. So if you see the link below, and there's a link to my spread shop, there's even little teddy bears, little stuffed teddy bears with a t-shirt that says, I can and I will. And, aprons and hoodies and stuff. Last call for calendars, 2023 calendar. I put a link to that below as well. I have fun with these, making these every year. So you can see that link. My Amazon, Go Keto with Casey 12-month record book with stuff in it. Inspirational things, I hope, and habit trackers and stuff. And patrons. I do have a private Patreon support group where for $5 a month, you get 20 pre-recorded snippets every weekday morning, topics suggested by the patrons. Going up from there, a handful of patron-only live streams on Crowdcast. Up from there, a handful of patron-only video group sessions on Zoom. As a matter of fact, I've got one of those at 10 o'clock this morning for patrons. And up from there, one-on-one with me. So there you go. That's it. Thank you. Commercial over. By the way, heads up, PSA. See, my hair looks kind of square. My hair is a constant disaster for me. It's very distracting to me. The Durham support group meeting with Dr. Eric Westman and me, we had returned to in-person meetings, but then we lost our venue. So we did the meeting on Crowdcast, which we had been doing during lockdown. And I think Dr. Westman suggests we do it on Crowdcast at least through February. So for those of you who need, and I've already posted a replay of last week's Durham support group meeting. So be on the lookout for that. If you're in the Greensboro area on Monday, I have the Go Keto with Casey meetup free at Wine Styles at Friendly Center. Come on. All right. Okay. Adult onset diabetes. Okay. Thank you for explaining that to me. Good morning from Berea, Kentucky, writes Joyce Holstein. I had to give up coffee and tea too. Made me too hyper. Very interesting. Judy writes, jittery and edema in my legs. Interesting. Judy Porterfield, that's how I did it too. I went one day carbs and the next day no carbs. It worked to just stop, as carbs had been causing swelling, GERD, so many other issues. Feeling younger on keto, so am I. Joyce Holstein, nobody really pays attention to what you're eating at events. They're so worried about what they're eating. I agree. We think everyone's looking at our plate. They're just looking at what they can get more, usually. Okay, here's a tip. Judy Tucker writes, I love my soda stream with lemon. So maybe, Buck, that might be an option for you. A good morning from Arizona, writes Colleen, Ketovore Way. I've made the decision to get an electric bike. I'm 60 years old and wanted to get out and about more. Cool. Heidi Crane, good morning from Minnesota. Christina Polishchik. So now I'm sitting here snapping my fingers. I can also whistle really loudly, but I won't do that because it'll hurt your ears. Love all your encouragement, right, Sue W. Judy Tucker, love my morning snippet. Thank you. I love your straightforward attitude and the keto protocol as you follow it. You keep it simple. I don't keep it simple. It is simple. That's the way I learned it. But I understand what you're saying. Love your morning snippets, writes Colleen. And Buck, LOL. Yeah, I use the soda stream to make my seltzer. I'll add lemon and see. Oh, it's 9:30, says Daniel, my British voice from my computer. Vicky Dismore. Been keto for a while, but here in France, it's not a common thing. So it's nice to have you in my day once a week. Congratulations on your anniversary. Thank you very much. On that, I will wrap this up. Go to my blog and submit questions if you want. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. Lay off the carbs and lay off the excuses because we all got them. I got a million of them. Thank you very much. And God willing, the creek don't rise, which is no joke in California. I will see you next week.